Hi everyone, it's Gilda again. Today I wanted to talk to you about swallowing disorders. The medical term for that is dysphagia. Now, dysphagia is a word that describes when someone is having difficulty swallowing food or liquids. Now, whenever we swallow, we want food or liquid to go into the stomach. But with dysphagia, there's something that happens that's problematic. And when we try and swallow, whatever we're trying to swallow tends to sometimes go into the airway. And then that's called aspiration. Now, aspiration is a bad thing because aspiration can lead to pneumonia, which can sometimes be fatal. So, we're going to talk about exercises that will help improve our swallowing function. Now, what causes weak swallowing muscles? Well, some neurological causes of dysphagia include stroke or conditions that cause damage to the brain or the nervous system over time, such as dementia, multiple sclerosis, and of course, Parkinson's disease. Okay. Now, the swallowing exercises that we're going to talk about are exercises that will increase the strength, the mobility, and the control over our swallowing function. The muscles that we really are working on will be the muscles of our lips, our cheek, our jaw, our tongue, and our throat. Okay? Now I'm going to go over 5 exercises with you. And with these exercises, I'll go over and demonstrate, but I want you to be able to do each one or each set 10 times each, so 10 repetitions. And if you can really tolerate these exercises in one sitting, try and do them 3 times a day if you can. All right. Now, the first exercise is called a hard swallow or effortful swallow. You will basically swallow as hard as you can, squeeze the neck muscles, your throat muscles when you swallow with a lot of effort, just like in the name. Pretend like there's something really large that you're trying to swallow or something sticky, so it looks like this. Okay, just like that. And you're going to do that 10 times. So why do this exercise? Well, it strengthens the pharyngeal muscles or the throat muscles that help to squeeze all the food down, leaving nothing in your throat, no residue. Okay? The next one is called the Masako. With the Masako, basically you're going to stick out your tongue out, hold it between your teeth or between your lips, and you're going to swallow while your tongue is still outside of your mouth. So it looks like this. Okay, so basically I'm sticking out my tongue and I'm anchoring it down with my teeth. That's so that you don't let the tongue come back in. It's a little tricky, so try it. And if it's still a little bit difficult, try pulling your tongue in and then push it up against the back of your teeth. So let's try it again. Stick your tongue out, bite down a little bit on your tongue, and then swallow. Now, I've known people to tell me that oftentimes they have nothing to swallow, no saliva. So to generate some saliva, you can kind of lick your lips a little bit like this, generate a little bit of saliva, and then try it, and then swallow, and then do that 10 times. Okay? Now, this exercise strengthens the back of your tongue, which is very important, and again, pushing all the food down and leaving nothing left over in your throat. Now, why do I keep saying that? Why do we want to make sure there's no residue or anything left over? Well, when we swallow, we want to make sure everything is cleared, because if you notice your voice sounding a little wet or gurgly, or you're having to clear your throat often after you swallow, it will mean that you haven't cleared everything. And that could be a danger because some of that residue could actually fall into the airway. Okay, so that's the reason for these exercises. The third one is called the Mendelssohn maneuver. With this one, you're going to swallow your saliva and then you're going to squeeze your muscles in order to hold your swallow at its highest point. you're going to use your fingers to feel where your Adam's apple is. Now for men, it's a little bit larger, so it's easy to find, but it's a little notch right here. That's basically where your throat is, but where your larynx sits, okay, your voice box. So when you go to swallow, you feel that with your forefinger and your thumb, and you're going to feel it at its highest point as it raises and then as it lowers. So when it's at its highest point, I'm going to hold it up for a few seconds, count to 3, and then let it go. So it'll look like this. And then release. Okay? Why is this important? Why do we do this exercise? Well, it does strengthen the muscles that help raise the Adam's apple, and that's where the larynx sits. We have to raise the larynx because when we swallow, the larynx needs to lift up and move forward a bit so that the food and liquid can pass behind it. If it doesn't raise high enough, what tends to happen is if it sits low, then sometimes liquids or food can just fall into the airway. And again, we talked about how we don't want that because that then leads to aspiration, which can lead to pneumonia. Okay? So this exercise will help protect your airway. The fourth exercise is breath hold. And just as it says, you're going to hold your breath. So you'll take a deep breath, bear down. You can push down, just like we do with some of our voice exercises. You can bear down on a hard surface like your chair or push against a table. And basically what that does, it closes your vocal cords shut. Your vocal cords are your last resort in protecting your airway. Okay, we don't want anything hitting the larynx or the vocal cords. So, but holding your breath will help protect your airway when you swallow. It's very critical. Again, try and do those 10 times each. And then finally, the last one is called WADA, all right, or jaw opening exercise. And basically you are just going to open your mouth really wide. Okay, your jaw is going to be open or lowered so that your mouth is wide open, and you're going to hold it there for 10 seconds. Try to feel this resistance. So it'll look like this. And then relax. Okay? So this exercise helps, again, with the lift of the larynx. There's a hyoid bone that needs to lift up. And what that does, when that's pulled up, it opens up the sphincter where we need this particular sphincter to open up so that it'll decrease, again, any residue from developing there in the throat. Okay? So again, with those exercises, 10 times each. So we've gone over 5 exercises: the effortful swallow, the Masako, the Mendelssohn maneuver, the breath hold, and the WADA, jaw opening. All right, well, I hope that's helped a little bit in understanding the reasoning behind swallowing exercises and strengthening those muscles to protect your airway when you swallow. We want to avoid any aspiration and definitely want to avoid developing pneumonia. All right, so until next time, stay safe, continue to sanitize, wash your hands, hydrate, and we'll see you the next session. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.